okendeki wapi osalaki wapi balobaki boye mwasi na bala na mosolo atune pa nauti bandeko nani apesi ye permission yo oh mama matata ya mwasi na mobale sila tena mokili baba.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they're disgusting. What sort of people are they?
Because there are countries that accept this, you have to go there. But we don't want that in our country. Or if you're homosexual, you hide. But to allow a law to accept bisexuals or homosexuals to strut in the streets, that's nonsense.
They require help, obviously. For me, I think they're sick. That's how I see it. But they need help. The fact that they're going to jail probably is one thing, but help should be done to them.
When you start treating people differently, not because of any harm they're doing anybody, but because they're different, that's the path whereby freedoms begin to erode. And bad things happen. And when a government gets in the habit of treating people differently, those habits can spread.
Just like President Obama, I think we also need to be able to speak frankly about some of these things. And the fact of the matter is that Kenya, the United States, we share so many values. Our common love for democracy, entrepreneurship, value for families. These are things that we share. But there are some things that we must admit we don't share. Our culture, our societies don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue.
I want to talk to you about a specific, human rights situation in parts of Africa and including in your own country. You yourself gained worldwide attention a few years ago when you said there was, quote, no room for homosexuality in Kenyan society. I want to know whether you still stand by that.
We have Kenyan law, we have Kenyan constitution, we have our tradition, we have our customs. We will continue to respect other people's customs as they respect our customs and our tradition. I am very clear that we respect everybody and what they believe in. But we also have what we believe in, and we expect to be respected for what we believe in.
So we are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we won't allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality? Even animals don't do it. Why should we be forced to do it because we want to be seen to be smart, to be seen to be civilized and advanced? And so.
Because people have no control over their race, for instance.
You think they have control over their sexuality?
Absolutely.
You think being gay is a choice?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Because a lot of people who go into prison straight, and when they come out, they're gay. So did something happen while they were in there?
Most
Ask yourself that question.
Never go to prison, and you know there's a whole theory of dominance.
Wait a minute, I said a lot of people who go in, come out. Are you denying that that's true?
I am not denying that that's true, but I am denying that that's as a basis of understanding homosexuality.
If in fact that is the case, then it obviously thwarts what you just said.
A lot of people go into jail as a drug addict and they come out as a criminal. But does that mean that all drug addicts are criminals?
Here's what's important. Why do gay people want to get married? Because they want to have various rights.
They want
property rights,
that's right.
Visitation rights.
They want their commitment to count just like mine and my wife's.
Why can't any two human beings, I don't care what their sexual orientation is, why can't they have the legal right to do those things?
That's what they're fighting for.
Okay, that does not require changing the definition of marriage.
But it would require covering that union as you do others, which is called marriage in our society.
I don't think so.
Transgender people.
Respect African societies and their values. If you don't agree, You just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see. If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves. Just the way we don't interfere with yours.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting. What sort of people are they? How can you go? I never knew what they were doing. That's how I've been told recently that what they do is terrible, disgusting. But I was ready to ignore that if there was proof that that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
For us, homosexuality, gender confusion, and all the variants expressed in the term LGBTQ are abominations that cannot be tolerated in our country, Senegal.
What they do is terrible, disgusting. But I was ready to ignore that if there was proof that that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
What is your message to Western human rights groups, to President Obama,
respect,
to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
Respect African societies and their values. If you don't agree, you just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see. If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves. Just the way we don't interfere with yours.
On the question of human rights, on the question, for example, of same-sex rights, never mind same-sex marriage or anything like that that might be in the future, for want of a better word, gay rights, the overturning of laws against homosexuality. Can you promise me today that you will do that?
I'm a constitutionalist. The current provision in the Constitution forbids same-sex marriages and uphold that until that issue in our country is not an issue of the political party.
Not same-sex marriage. I'm talking about same-sex relationships. Never mind, we can put marriage to ourselves. I'm talking about same sexual activity.
In our current constitution, it is banned.
Are you going to lead a campaign?
No, I will not lead a campaign.
Why not?
Those people who want that are the people who must canvass for such things, so that if they're able to win majority in amending the constitution, they would amend it. But it's not my duty on that issue to say I want to campaign for this. No.
Of course it is your, with respect, Mr. President, of course it's your duty. It's your duty to uphold human rights as recognized by the United Nations and as recognized by the countries.
It's my duty to obey my constitution.
Correct.
I would not be persuaded to violate my constitution. Currently, my constitution says what I have said, but the constitution does not forbid people with different opinions. They must canvass for the opinions which they have.
So I'm asking for your opinion, both as a man and as president. Are you in favor of changing the constitution on that issue?
No, I am not. It's never a priority in Zimbabwe to deal with that issue.
I never knew what they were doing. That's how I've been told recently that what they do is terrible, disgusting. But I was ready to ignore that if there was proof that that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
Wametuletea madawa ya kulevya. Watoto wetu na wakuta wanatoa makamasi tu. Hawawezi wakalima, hawawezi wakafanya nini, wao wanashangilia. Wametuletea watu kubakana, wanaume kwa wanaume, wanawake kwa wanawake, wakati hata ng'ombe hata mbuzi hazijawahi kukosea huo mtindo. Uwezo kumuona mbuzi, ninyi wachungaji mmeshawahi kuchunga? Umeshawahi kuona hata ng'ombe anakosea? Au mbuzi? Au kondoo, hata nguruwe, au mnyama yoyote? Lakini tunaambiwa sisi wa Tanzania tuwe tunakosea mahali penyewe. Ni ujinga, ni upumbavu. Saa nyingine tunapata marana ya ajabu kwa kufanya mambo ambayo hayakuumbwa. wewe unang'ang'ania tu mahali ambapo hata hapastahili. Tabu sana bakosha.
No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
It's not a question of having dollars in Zimbabwe. It's a question of development. We must have functional railway systems in my country. We must have functional infrastructure in terms of highways and so on. We must have functional manufacturing sector in the country. I must modernize and mechanize my agriculture in Zimbabwe. I must have a developed mining sector in Zimbabwe. These are the things, as far as I'm concerned, are the issues which my people look at for government to address and facilitate for their development so that we catch up with members of the region.
We equally reject attempts to prescribe new rights that are contrary to our values, norms, traditions, and beliefs. We are not gays.